They are out to kill Seth. SmackDown chaos ahead. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed set to crush Seth Rollins. Where the hell is everyone? Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, two of the most violent, destructive, and unstoppable monsters in all of WWE, just announced that they're targeting Seth Rollins on SmackDown this week, and Seth is apparently going into this alone with no backup, no allies, and no plan. After everything we've seen these two do to CM Punk, Paul Heyman, and everyone else who's crossed their path, Seth thinks he can just survive this onslaught by himself. This is insanity. This is suicide. This is either Seth Rollins being the most arrogant wrestler in WWE who thinks he's invincible, or this is WWE setting up the most brutal beatdown we've seen in years just to make Bron and Reed look even more unstoppable. And I am absolutely furious that Seth isn't taking this threat seriously, because we're about to watch one of WWE's top stars get destroyed on live television. I am terrified for Seth. I am angry at his apparent lack of preparation, and I am absolutely demanding that anyone steps up to help him before it's too late. Drop in the comments right now, is Seth Rollins walking into a death trap on SmackDown, or does he have a secret plan we don't know about? Because this feels like we're about to witness a murder on live TV. The announcement came during a backstage segment that sent shockwaves through the wrestling world. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, fresh off destroying the Vision and liberating themselves from Paul Heyman's control, cut a promo that was absolutely chilling in its directness and brutality. Question for the wrestling historians: when was the last time two monsters publicly announced their intention to destroy someone days in advance? This level of premeditation is rare. Let me break down exactly what Bron and Reed said, because their words weren't just threats, they were promises of violence that should have every WWE official and Seth's friends terrified about what's coming. Bron spoke first, and his tone was cold and calculated. Seth Rollins, the revolutionary, the architect, the man who thinks he rebuilt Monday Night Raw in his image. You've been running your mouth about how you're the one who should be challenging for championships, how you're the one who deserves the spotlight. Well, Seth, this Friday on SmackDown, Bronson and I are going to show you what real dominance looks like. That's not typical wrestling trash talk, that's a declaration. Bron wasn't trying to generate heat or build anticipation, he was stating facts about what will happen. Bronson Reed added his piece with that intimidating presence he brings. Seth, you talk about burning things down, about being the visionary, but you've never faced destruction like what's coming for you. We're not playing by rules. We're not waiting for matches to be sanctioned. We're coming for you, and when we're done, you won't be able to burn anything down because you won't be able to stand. The specificity of these threats is what makes them so disturbing. They're not saying we'll beat you in a match, they're saying we're going to injure you so badly you can't compete. That's attempted career-ending violence. Let me ask, should WWE officials prevent this confrontation from happening, or is letting it play out part of their chaotic booking style? Where's the duty of care? Here's what makes this situation even more dangerous: Bron and Reed have proven they'll follow through on their threats. Let's review their recent track record of destruction. They destroyed CM Punk in multiple ambush attacks. They demolished Paul Heyman to the point he needed medical attention. They've laid waste to anyone who's gotten in their way since liberating themselves from the Vision. They've shown zero mercy, zero restraint, and zero concern for consequences. This isn't empty posturing, this is a pattern of actual violence. Seth should be taking this seriously. But what was Seth's response when asked about the threats? Arrogance. Pure, unfiltered arrogance that suggests he's either in denial about the danger or has completely lost touch with reality. Seth told reporters, "Bron and Bronson think they're going to destroy me? Let them try. I've been through wars in this business. I've faced the Shield, the Authority, I've been WWE champion, I've rebuilt Monday Night Raw. Two big guys who just learned how to think for themselves don't scare me." Seth, what are you doing? This isn't confidence, this is delusion. You're not invincible. You're not immune to two 300-pound monsters targeting you specifically. Should Seth Rollins' response be considered brave or stupid? There's a fine line between confidence and reckless endangerment. The wrestling community is divided on this situation. Team 1, Seth is right to stand his ground. If he shows fear, Bron and Reed win psychologically. He has to project confidence. Team 2, Seth is being an idiot. Confidence without preparation is just ego. He needs backup immediately. Team 3, this is WWE booking Seth to be destroyed. They're sacrificing him to build up Bron and Reed as unstoppable. Team 4, Seth has a secret plan we don't know about. He's not actually going in alone, he's setting a trap. Which team are you on? Give me your team number and your reasoning. Let's analyze the matchup from a pure physical standpoint, because the numbers don't look good for Seth. Bron Breakker, second-generation superstar, genetic freak, explosive power, legitimate wrestling background, young and hungry. He's everything WWE wants in a future champion. Bronson Reed, 330 pounds of devastating offense, can move like a cruiserweight despite his size. That tsunami splash has ended careers, absolutely fearless about using his body as a weapon. Seth Rollins, incredibly talented, veteran experience, resilient, but also 38 years old, has accumulated injuries over 15+ years, and is one person against two monsters. The math doesn't work. Even prime Seth Rollins would struggle against both these guys. Current Seth, who's been through wars, is walking into a slaughter. But here's what's fascinating: Seth has been in impossible situations before and survived. Let's look at his track record. Seth has won multiple championships against difficult odds. He's survived the Shield implosion and thrived. He's overcome career-threatening injuries and returned stronger. He's outwitted opponents who were physically superior, so maybe Seth knows something we don't. Maybe he's not being arrogant but strategic. Does Seth Rollins' history of overcoming odds give you confidence he'll survive? Or does it make you more worried this is where his luck runs out? The potential backup options for Seth are limited but exist. Option 1, Cody Rhodes, fellow SmackDown star, has history with Seth, mutual respect. But Cody has his own battles. Option 2, Kevin Owens, longtime friend/enemy of Seth, unpredictable but loyal when it matters. If anyone would help, it's KO. Option 3, Sami Zayn, another SmackDown presence, has worked with Seth before, could be convinced to help. Option 4, CM Punk, enemy of Bron and Reed, has been destroyed by them, might want revenge and see Seth as useful ally. Option 5, mystery partner, someone from NXT or returning from injury nobody expects. Rank these 5 options by likelihood of actually showing up to help Seth. Most likely to least likely. WWE's promotion of this segment has been intense. They're billing it as one of the most dangerous confrontations in SmackDown history. That's either brilliant marketing or honest warning. The video package is showing Bron and Reed's destruction alongside Seth's defiant responses create this sense of inevitable violence. It's not if Seth gets destroyed, it's how badly. Should WWE be promoting potential injury angles this heavily, or does that cross a line into uncomfortable territory? The ethics of violence promotion. Social media has been blowing up with speculation. Wrestling Twitter is divided between people excited to see a potential classic brawl and people genuinely concerned for Seth's well-being. Reddit threads are full of fantasy booking about who saves Seth, how he escapes, or predictions of his destruction. Instagram is flooded with memes about Seth's apparent death wish and Bron/Reed's upcoming destruction. TikTok has compilation videos of all of Bron and Reed's most violent moments set to ominous music. The engagement is through the roof, which is exactly what WWE wants. But at what cost to Seth's character? The booking implications of this segment are massive. If Seth loses badly, he looks weak, Bron and Reed look unstoppable, the power dynamic of SmackDown shifts dramatically. If Seth survives alone, Bron and Reed lose credibility as threats, their mystique is damaged, WWE wasted their momentum. If Seth gets help and wins, we get a new alliance, Bron and Reed remain dangerous but beatable, storyline continues. If Seth gets help but still loses, shows Bron and Reed can overcome numbers, sets up larger faction war, escalates conflict. Which outcome would create the best long-term storytelling? Rank them 1 to 4 by preference. The historical context matters here. Seth Rollins has been in 2-on-1 situations before. Remember when Seth faced the Bar? That was brutal, but he had help eventually. Remember Seth versus Authors of Pain? Again, overwhelming odds that required assistance. Remember Seth's matches against multiple Shield members at different times? Never easy. The pattern is clear: Seth struggles in these situations without support. History suggests he needs help here. Can Seth Rollins learn from history, or is he doomed to repeat past mistakes by going alone? The SmackDown locker room's silence about this is deafening. Where are the other babyfaces? Where's the solidarity? Where's anyone saying we're not letting this happen to Seth? That silence suggests either A. Nobody likes Seth enough to risk themselves, character issue for Seth. B. Everyone's too scared of Bron and Reed, establishes Bron and Reed as top threats. C. WWE is keeping potential helpers secret for surprise factor, booking strategy. D. Seth specifically told people not to help, Seth's pride/strategy. Which explanation makes the most sense? Or is there another reason I'm missing? Paul Heyman's perspective on this would be interesting. The man who was destroyed by Bron and Reed watching them target someone else. Does he feel vindicated? Concerned? Amused? Heyman has history with Seth from their authority days. Would Heyman warn Seth based on personal experience with these two monsters? That would be fascinating character interaction. CM Punk's involvement seems inevitable given his hatred for Bron and Reed. But will Punk help Seth, or will he let Seth get destroyed and then capitalize on a weakened opponent? Punk could be watching from the shadows, waiting to see if Seth survives before making his move. That's very CM Punk strategic thinking. The women's division should be paying attention too. If Bron and Reed can destroy Seth, nobody is safe. This establishes a threat level that affects the entire roster. The timing of this attack is suspicious right before a major premium live event, during crucial ratings periods, when WWE needs big moments. That suggests this is designed to be spectacular. But spectacular could mean spectacular violence or spectacular surprise. We don't know which yet. Should we expect a clean destruction of Seth, or multiple swerves that change everything? WWE's track record suggests swerves. Final questions before we wrap. 1. Will Seth Rollins survive this confrontation or get destroyed? 2. Who, if anyone, will come to Seth's aid when the attack begins? 3. Is Seth being brave, strategic, or just stupid about this? 4. Should WWE officials intervene to prevent this violence? 5. Will this segment make or break Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed as top stars? Give me your predictions for all 5 questions. Here's my ultimate take. Seth Rollins is walking into the most dangerous situation of his career on SmackDown, and whether he survives depends entirely on whether WWE wants to sacrifice him to build up Bron and Reed or if they have protection planned. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed are legitimate threats who've proven they follow through on promises of violence. This isn't empty posturing, this is real danger. Seth's confidence is either admirable or foolish depending on whether he has backup plans we don't know about. Going in alone would be career suicide. WWE has created must-see television for SmackDown. Everyone will tune in to see what happens, but the cost might be one of their top stars' credibility or health. This Friday's SmackDown could be remembered as either the night Seth proved he's untouchable or the night Bron and Reed ended his career. The stakes couldn't be higher. Let me know everything in the comments. Is Seth doomed? Who saves him? What's your prediction? And if you made it this far, drop pray for Seth if you're worried about his survival, or Seth's got this if you believe in his ability to overcome. Subscribe for wrestling analysis during the most dangerous period in SmackDown. Like if you're nervous about what happens to Seth. And share because everyone needs to watch this potential murder live. Until next time, hope for survival, expect violence, and I'll see you in the next one.